Hello, Professor. My name is Dhrupakar, student number 173021239. I'm from section NIA, and today I will be demonstrating this video for my practical exam midterm. Now, let's move on to the first part of the project. So, moving on to the first part of this practical midterm exam, we need to create two VMs which are going to be Windows Server 2019. One will be named Practical VM1, the another will be Practical VM2. They should be joined to our RWDC server, and these are the IPs that we need to give. .55 for Practical VM1, .65 for Practical VM2, and uh, this number here should be the range of IP that is assigned to me in the blackboard. For me, it's 128, so I will be using 128 for this as a substitute for this entire midterm. So as you can see, this is my RWDC machine. Uh, it is it has Active Directory installed on it. The IP is this 192.168.128.50. When I move on to practical VM1, as you can see, the computer has been named, the domain has been joined, and the IP has been assigned for practical VM1. The same is configured on my practical VM2. As you can see, the computer name has been assigned, the domain has been joined, and the IP is also configured. Moving on to the next part of this midterm exam. So in this part, we will create one UPN suffix, which is named practical f25.com on our WDC server. And after we create this suffix, we'll create a new user, which will be named Scenic ID at the rate practicalf25.com. And then we will add this user to account operator group and backup operator group, and then logging in using practical VM1. So I've already did it. This is my evidence. Once we go to tools, Active Directory domain address, if I right click over here and go to properties, you can see I've already added practicalf25.com as you have UPN suffix. Okay, now let's go to tools, users and computers. As you can see, this is my RWDC machine joined the domain, and I have created a user over here. I go to the properties, go to member of. As you can see, it is already joined to account operators and backup operators. Now let's try logging in using this at the rate the UPN suffix through the practical VM1. So 173021239, which is my Scenic ID, at the rate our UPN suffix, which is practical f25.com, and the password. As you can see, I'm able to successfully log in on practical 128 VM1 using the user account which we created. I will also verify that we are on practical 128 VM by going to the server manager and showing you the computer name and the domain name. So as you can see, the computer name is practical VM1, the domain is myscenicid.com, and the IP is also of practical VM1, and we are successfully able to log in inside practical VM1 using the UPN suffix which we created. For part 3, we need to build two sites location. One is company 1, which is site 1 dash Barry in the first practical VM, and the second is company 2, which is site 2 dash Ottawa site, which is kept in practical VM2. And we need to create one site link between these two sites. You need to also add AD in the both the VMs as child domains. So I've already configured it, as you can see. So this is my practical one VM, and as you can see, uh, it has been promoted to AD, and this is a child domain to my root domain. So this is typically barry.dhrupakar.com. As we go to practical VM2, my this also represents my unique ID. So this is also promoted to a child domain, and this is ottawa.dhrupakar, which is my root domain .com. And if we come to RWDC, as you can see, this is my sites. So I just need to rename them. Site 1, let's see the naming convention. Site 1 dash Barry, site 2 dash Ottawa. Okay, so as you can see, this is my site 1 Barry, and this is my site 2 Ottawa. And if you go here, the practical VMware server is inside site 1 Barry, and the practical VM2 server is inside site 2 Ottawa. For the next part, we need to create one folder in VM1 named confident and show the share folder accessible from VM2 of the user which we created, which is my Seneca ID number at the rate practicalf25.com, and the folder share name should be confident on practical VM1. So let's go to this is my practical VM1. So as you can see, this is my local directory C, and I have uh, created a folder over here which is named confident, and did advanced sharing over here, and also granted full control. This is the permission to my user over here. Okay, so let's go to practical 128 VM2. Okay, user, let me show you that I can log in through the UPN. So 173021239, this is my Seneca ID number, practicalf25.com password. As you can see, I have been logged inside this account successfully. If I go to file manager, this PC, and copy the network path from here, then I'm able to access the folder via. Now let's recheck if it gets updated in the second machine or not. File 1. As you can see, there's no file over here right now. See, new text document which I created. Let's rename it to file 1. File 1. Now this is also updated. So this proves this one over here. Okay, so now let's move on to part four. For part four, we need to set a trust between our Berry and Ottawa machine and then replicate between these two for every day night, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So let me go and show you the trust. So this is my practical 128 VM, which has berry.dhrupakar.com. So you can see over here, if I right click on here, properties, trust, you can see shortcut trust both transitive for incoming and outgoing is set up for Ottawa machine. This is shortcut because this machine has already detected that Ottawa and Barrie machine are in the same forest. So this is okay. And this is a two-way trust. So let's go to practical 128 VM. So you can see this is my Ottawa machine. If I right click over here, properties, trust, this is also has set up a Barrie .dhupaka.com trust for both incoming and outgoing. And you can see this is also shortcut because Barrie and Ottawa they both reside in the same forest. So the trust is set up. Now the next thing is we need to do is replicate between these two sites for every night, every day night, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So let's go to RWDC. So as you can see, this is my RWDC machine, main machine. So we need to go to Active Directory sites and services, inter-site transports, IP, and the link which we have set up. We have to click on properties, then go to change schedule. As you can see, I have already selected this. This is every day from 8 p.m. from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. 12 a.m. Sorry, and this is from 12 a.m. till 6 a.m. So this basically makes uh, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So in these time replication will be not available between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. So now let's move on to the last part of this lab, which is installing certificate services on practical VM2 as root CA and name it cert1. And on practical VM1, we have to create second certificate, which is named cert2, and it is a subordinate CA. So let's go to practical VM2 tools, certification authority. As you can see, I have created cert1 and it is running properly. This is the green sign which says it's running properly. Let's move on to the second one. So this is my practical VM1 Barry. If you go to tools, go to certification authority. As you can see, my certificate 2 is also up and running. So this was my presentation for midterm. Thank you.